month, we like to give you an opportunity to get to know your champions a little bit better and learn about what drives their passion to serve rural America in our Spotlight segment. In this month's feature, we focus on Representative Harriet Hageman, who grew up on a ranch in the small town of Laramie, Wyoming.
I started showing cattle and livestock when I was pretty young. All of my family did, through 4-H and FFA and things like that. And in high school, I was on the livestock judging team. And then I ended up getting a scholarship to Casper College, a community college in Wyoming. And I went there in 1981, and I judged livestock for Casper College. Traveled all over the country. It was a great experience. The thing about livestock judging is it teaches you to be very discerning in how you look at things, and it also gives you the opportunity to really explain why you did what you did. So it was a great background. From there, I went to the University of Wyoming, where I received my bachelor's degree and my law degree, and I practiced law as a trial attorney for almost 34 years before I was elected to Congress. Not only is such an endeavor not the federal government's responsibility, this program doesn't work, won't work, and will end up wasting massive amounts of federal money. We've got to find a way to take this country back, because this truly is the last great hope in the entire world. America is the last great hope in terms of liberty and freedom, prosperity, knowing that your kids and your grandkids are going to have a better life than you. We are the last great shining city on the hill.
And you're a woman of faith.
We are at a point where people are understanding that it is imperative that we change the trajectory that we're on. And we're going to do that with our faith because of Jesus Christ and because we don't have any choice. This country has been blessed from the beginning, and we can't lose that.
The state that you represent, population-wise, has the fewest number of people, yet you have the third highest energy output of any other state.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the minerals and the potential that Wyoming has to offer when it comes to energy.
Well, I'm very proud of my state. Yes, we're the least populated state in the nation. We have between 560 and 580,000 people. We're one of the very largest energy producers in the nation. We're the largest coal producer, and we have a lot of oil and gas. We also have the highest quality, largest resource of nuclear of any state in the nation. So we are an energy powerhouse. I'm extremely proud of the fact that Wyoming makes people's lives better, and that's the way that I describe it. My mother is going to be 100 years old 2 weeks from now, and I often think about what has changed in the last 100 years and what she has experienced, what she has seen. And when you think about human history, it is the invention of the internal combustion engine. It is the ability to harness our energy resources that really changed the course of history. For hundreds of thousands of years, people lived fairly poor lifestyles. They lived where they spent the vast majority of every single day trying to find food to put on their table and a roof over their head. And starting with energy production and mass energy production, commercial energy production, our lives changed. And that's what's so sad about it. What is keeping us from accessing the energy resources that we're entitled to is bad energy policy, whether it is under President Biden, Obama before him, but really it's been the last 30 to 40 years with the radical environmental movement. It's an anti-humanist type of mentality, and it is this idea that if we impoverish people today, maybe 100 years from now, the earth will be 1 degree cooler. First of all, that's nonsense. They are ignoring the science, they are ignoring the reality, and the fact is much of the data that they rely upon to make those kinds of predictions has been compromised. In fact, 96% of the climate data that they rely on for their models has been compromised. Yet they are basing their policies and spending literally trillions of dollars to implement the Green New Deal with the idea that they're going to take away our affordable energy. One of the old adages is really coming true, which is those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. I'm old enough to remember the 1972 oil embargo. I am old enough to remember when we had gas lines. And I'm also old enough to remember that under Jimmy Carter, we had 15 to 18% interest rates and 15 to 18% inflation. And as a result, our small businesses, our ranches and farms were absolutely decimated across this country. And it's taken over 40 years for people to rebuild. And one of the other things that happened after the 1972 oil embargo was we created what was called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. We started filling that in the late 70s, early 1980s. It takes over 9 years to fill our SPR. over 9 years. It is now down over 50% because Joe Biden has been tapping into it in an effort to try to keep some prices down as he has ratcheted up imports from Iran and Venezuela and Russia. One of the things that people are going to have to do is they've got to go vote. I'm concerned about the next year and what's going to happen. We've got a war in the Middle East. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I don't believe that that's going to be a short-term issue. I think that we're looking at a long-term battle that is going to affect worldwide prices for oil and gas and many, many other resources.